Hi there, it's time for Talk to Me Tuesday on June 23rd, 2026. I'm Jules. I'm here in my project room. And first of all, I'd like to wish my brother Jay, who I'm almost positive doesn't watch these videos, but today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Jay. It was so great to see you last month, and I hope we don't wait so long until the next time we all get together. So I didn't actually do a lot in here over the past week, and that's because last Wednesday, Jennifer O flew into town, and I rented us a small hotel suite nearby. It was kind of in between home and work, and the two of us stayed there until Sunday morning, and we did a lot of hand embroidery. We worked on my Doctor Who quilt, so it's big. It's the one that Jeannie, it's the layout that Jeannie designed of Silence in the Library. And we're putting a bunch of the doctors and some other hand embroidery patterns in the blank squares that Jeannie left. And so Jennifer finished the doctor that she started the last time we were stitching, which was the 12th doctor, and she started working on the 13th. Meanwhile, I recently, when I was on the trip to St. Louis to visit my brother Jay and my sister Jan, while I was visiting with them, I finally finished the 3rd doctor, and so I went back to work on the 2nd doctor. So while we're working on these at the same time, I work on one end of the quilt and Jennifer works on the opposite, like, diagonal corner, so that it's easier for both of us to have plenty of room to sit and move the block around and stuff. So that was great. Got a lot of stitching done. And I made probably halfway done with the 2nd doctor, and maybe even more than that, maybe 3/4 of the way. So I can get that done pretty quickly. You know, at this rate, it's only going to take us another 20 years to finish. So I'm going to try to work on it a little more often. In addition to that, Jennifer, I had Paper Piece and Club on Thursday, and if you've already watched her video, you know that she designed an awesome, adorable quilt for her impending grandbaby, and we worked on that quilt while we were there. So on Thursday at Paper Piece and Club, she got to meet some of my regulars. One lady came that had never come before, and another lady came that isn't able to come as often. So it was great to have a nice group together, and we all just had a blast sitting and sewing, working on our individual projects, helping each other out. I paper pieced the butterflies for Jennifer's quilt, and she paper pieced the 18, I think, inch fox that she designed, which is freaking adorable. I can't wait till she gets the eyes embroidered on. It's going to be amazing. And then, so we worked on that on Thursday. That was a lot of fun. Once we were done with that, we went back to, we went to the grocery store, got some noms, went back to the hotel. And so that evening is when I think we started stitching, if I remember rightly. If we had enough energy, I can't remember. I think it was Thursday night we started stitching. And then Friday, we did some more thrifting. We did thrifting on Wednesday when she first got in. Friday we did some more thrifting. I found some great stuff. They're all a bit big because I would rather size them down than try to figure out how to size them up. And so I bought some really cute blouses. Unfortunately, a couple of them are big enough that, like, if I bend over, I'll just be like, woo, look at my cleavage. So instead, I'm going to pull them out again. I'm going to look at them all and decide what I would need to do to make them work for me. Basically, what it boiled down to is I just brought home a whole bunch more projects, and I don't need that. So if it's something really simple, I think one of them I just need to add a button here, and it'll be fine, because where the buttons stop is just a little lower than I would prefer. The armholes are a little big, so I may or may not try to resize those. If I decide it's just going to take me too long, or I'm just not feeling it, I will just redonate them, or see if I know someone that maybe would want to wear them. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then I got a pair of pajama pants. Those are right here. And they're a bit big. They need elastic in the waistband, and the feet, you can see they were a bit long for whoever was wearing them, so they got all frayed. My plan there is to just serge that off and turn it under and have it. So that'll be easy peasy. I'm not worried about that. Super soft. I love men's pajama pants because they're just comfy. And they have pockets. And I don't want to have to add pockets. So one thing I got that I'm really excited about is I got a twin sheet set that is 100% cotton. And it is this blue stripes on white. It's pristine. I don't even know if it's ever been used. I don't know. I just washed it. I'm going to get a massive amount of fabric out of that, but I just feel like it would make a great blouse. So it's possible I may cut up one of those blouses, trace it as a pattern as is, so that with the seam allowance, it should, like when I sew it together, using that original seam as the seam allowance, it might fit perfectly. We shall see. Regardless, these will be great for making a muslin for a top, because I do have a couple of blouse patterns I want to try before I get into my expensive fabric. I can't remember how much I paid for this. I think it was $8 for a flat sheet, a fitted sheet, and a pillowcase, all in this amazing blue stripes on white. And they're not just solid stripes. There's like, you can't really see it, but they're like, the stripes are made up of teeny tiny dots. It's really cool. So I'm very excited about that. I've been looking for sheets to play with for a while to use this fabric, and have not been able to find any cute, clean 100% cotton sheets. These are perfect. The other thing I worked on Friday, we did go back to the shop after we went to lunch. We went to thrifting, and then we went to lunch, and then we went back to the shop so that we could just sit and sew together again. I knew there was nothing going on in the classroom that day, so I thought this will be perfect. And I got my nephew Joel's quilt out, which I had paid someone to quilt, and then I got it out, and I had already, at Paper Piecing Club a couple of months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, I had sewn the binding to the back, and so I just needed to turn it to the front and stitch it down. And so I did that on Friday. I do still need to make a label, and so that'll be the last step before I get that in the mail and sent to my nephew. And then the other thing, while I was doing that, Jennifer worked on cutting out the rest of her squares so that she basically was going home with a kit ready to sew together of the baby quilt that she had designed. Since we'd already finished all of the paper pieced squares, she was able to do that. This quilt is really big. That's why I didn't hang it up on the wall, Joel's quilt. So Jennifer took a picture of me holding it up. You could just barely see me over the top, and I had to like spread it out. The design wall had a quilt on it, so I wasn't able to pin it up there. Again, I just need to label it, and then I can pop that sucker in the mail. Yeah, it was so great. It was so great to get to sit and sew with Jennifer again. And this time we weren't trying to crank out like mass quantities of charity quilts. We were just working on projects that we wanted to work on at our own pace, and visiting and having fun. And I mean, I helped her shop. And it was just so much fun. We need to do this at least once a year. That's it for me. I am back to work this week. So I did manage to actually just get caught up watching everybody's videos up to this morning, and I am going to try very hard to stay up to date with that. I'm not going to promise to make another video next week. My goal is a minimum of every other week, and if I do better than that, I will be extremely happy, but I'm not going to sweat it. I look forward to watching y'all's videos, and I really hope that y'all are finding time to get together with friends and sew or embroider or whatever. Get together with friends and hang out. Make some time for yourself to be crafty. Do something that makes you happy. And I will see you next time. Bye.